Hello friends of YouTube. Today's video is a bit different. I've been away on holiday for a couple of weeks and what I had left to talk about was little dribs and drabs, so rather than try and make a video into something or make a video from small bits, I thought I'd just chat through what I'm going to be up to and what's been happening. While I was on holiday, and I was only gone for 2 weeks, having a great time in Florida, the whole of the UK has changed. It is now dark when you get up in the morning, it's dark when you come home at night, and it's absolutely freezing. We've had an okayish weekend where it got up to the heady heights of about 10 degrees Celsius, but it's all changed there, and it's going to be hard to get out and fly. But fly I did yesterday. I went out with the guys Jinx and Rod, who are quite new and like to fly quads, and we went out and did a couple of batteries. And I wanted to mention a few things about that. So the last few times I've been flying this from Lift RC. This is what's called the Matty Stunts racer frame. It's a very tiny gap that is. I really like it. It flies very smoothly. It was part of a review. I've been doing some writing for a magazine called RC Flight Camera Action in the UK, and this was a review quad. And the reason I mention this is because if you look at the footage, you'll see my daughter Sophie snapping away there with her camera, and I'm very proud to say that her picture of this quad is on the front cover. That's when I had the Mobius before I smashed. Mobius is up. So I was quite proud of that, because I don't know if anyone's tried actually getting pictures of their quads flying, but it is genuinely quite hard to position yourself in such a way where you can get a decent angle and get a nice background in. And basically I was flying at her face and she was way down on the floor snapping away with her camera, so that's really good. On the subject of flying this thing, I've now moved over to my GoPro Session, which I think is quite nice. I've just got it on literally just a block of foam with a battery sat around to keep it on. Very solid, not coming out. Could maybe do with a little bit more angle though, just to match the camera a bit more. The reason I want to mention this is because I noticed there was a lot of people using TPU prints, which I was going to go down the route of, but then I found these little sort of squishy surrounds on Banggood, which I quite like, and I've coupled this with, there's this piece of glass that literally sits right on front of the lens, which is hopefully going to protect it from smashing. And the reason I mentioned these is because what it then lets me do is, in the event of a crash, I've managed to put a tether through there. So the idea is, instead of that flying off and getting lost, it can still fly off, but it shouldn't go too far away from the quad, which I kind of liked a bit better than potentially having a TPU mount break completely. And yesterday I managed to get a test of that with the battery stack actually breaking in a crash, which the camera came off, but was easily found because it didn't go anywhere. It was a pretty funny little crash. I thought I might just mention it since I'm here. So here was the problem yesterday, and here's my Tyrannus. And what I should mention is I recently switched over to doing switch arming instead of stick arming, and this is my arm switch on the corner here. This is my switch for air mode on, air mode off. Pretty easy. And I've done about 50 lipos since doing the moving from switch arming, although whenever I land I still switch disarm, stick disarm, as well as having already switched it off. Just a habit I can't get out of. Yesterday when flying I had a bit of video interference. I think one of the guys was walking just past me with their quad armed or powered on, and it was just causing me interference. So I was just going to come in and land and let that pass. Of course, to land I want to turn air mode off, so the prop stop. Yesterday I managed to get the wrong switch and completely disarmed it in flight, which is completely my fault. Never done that before, and kind of one of the stupid things I managed to do. I show you my humiliation so you don't have to repeat it. It looks like this. No damage though. I broke, as I said, I managed to break this battery strap, and I broke one of these zip ties, so I just needed to redo that, and it's all good. It was good to get out flying again, just to blow some of the cobwebs off, basically, and have a bit of a fly around. Good fun, and I hope to do it as much as possible, but fingers crossed, because the weather versus the light and the available time is working against me. So I thought I'd go through a couple of things that I've got on the desk ready to look at. It's not so much like, oh, look what's coming up, as opposed to if I mention them, it means I have to do them, so that's quite good. First thing is, I got the replacement Relac diversity thing in from Banggood. This is the little goggle diversity thing, and also came with that the covers, so they should install a lot better in my Fat Sharks and not just fall off, which would be a lot better. So I hope to get out and try that. I really want to, rather than doing it on a mini quad, which is, you know, okay for maybe penetration around some trees and stuff, it'd be nice to see if it handles some distance. So I'd hope to get out with the Mini Talon or the Bixler. Recent change to the Bixler. Actually, I look behind because it's just up here on the wall. There it is. That's him. I swapped the motor out. I still had the stock motor on the Bixler too, which was, oh my god, so underpowered, which is absolutely fine. If you're on a really calm day and you just gently want to go buzz around, buzz back, it's fine. As soon as you get a bit of a tailwind or there's any sort of wind conditions, it just felt like I was fighting it all the time. And having got the Mini Talon, and only after like 2 lipos in that, I'm like, oh, this plane's going to be great, especially for sort of distance, and because the battery lasts a long time. It's got an LR9 receiver in it, and it flies really quickly, handles the wind brilliantly. I'm just I'm blown away by it. Really, really love that plane. But I didn't want to just decommission the Bix, so I've changed the motor to a I forgot what it is. I'll put it here on the screen. Same one as my Falcon. The only difference is I can fit a slightly larger lipo in it, so it can still go a little bit further. I still like the camera I've got it in, and the pan tilt I've got. I think it's really nice for getting the right sort of footage there, but that still needs to be retested. Anyway, I mentioned that because for testing this diversity system, I'd like to test for distance, because one of the things I want to be able to do is to be able to fly off, obviously track in my head where I have to, but not have to worry about being in short range. So that's still a test up and coming. Another thing to test, which I've got here on my desk, is one of these little cameras. This should be very familiar looking to anybody who's had one of those little brushed sort of sub 100mm quads. The difference being that this is a 200 milliwatt system instead of the normal 25. And I thought this would be quite nice to just be able to plug it into anything easily. Sometimes I have sort of, I don't have gear to go and everything, and I have to move stuff around, and that can be a right pain. This thing can easily just carry around a 1 cell and be stuck on temporarily, or some sort of I think it runs from 3.3 to 5 volts, so you can pretty much take it out of the receiver if you want to and very easily move it. But I haven't flown my AXN for an age. I don't think I've got a camera on there at the moment, so I thought this would be quite a nice camera to try out and see how it works. I've no idea how it's going to look. It seems quite a wide angle. Not brilliant pictures from these generally, but it doesn't really have to be. It's just something to play with and move around as you want to. So if you did look on my Facebook page of recent, you'd see me mention the Wing Wing. The Wing Wing was a plane that I really wanted to like, but I just didn't get on with. And it's not the only one. There are several planes on the wall. You know who you are. That I just, for whatever reason, I haven't won with. I haven't given up yet. One of which is the Buffalo, which I still have to retest. Now it's ready to fly again. Another is the Skywalker Mini, which has been hateful to me. But the Wing Wing, it would be so inconsistent. So I'd fly it, it would fly brilliantly one day. The next day, same setup, would just fly like a dog, and I couldn't work it out. And after the latest crash, I basically took it all apart, ripped the servos out, and it was going in the bin, and it just happened that it got chucked in a cupboard and left there all taken apart. So recently I glued it back together, but you'll notice there's no motor mount on there. So I thought this would be an interesting time to have an experiment, and I'm not going to mention what it is because hopefully it'll be an interesting surprise. But basically this is not going to fly using a traditional propulsion method, put it that way. It won't fly for very long either, I'm sure, especially in my hands, especially if it's going line of sight. But anyway, I hope to have that messing around with soon. I've got some other stuff to put on that, hidden here on the floor, which you can't see. Well, I apologise if this has all been a bit rambling and random, but I just had little bits to add. It also seems that aside from getting a bit, fidgety and itchy if I haven't FPV'd for a while, I'm now also the same if I haven't uploaded a video for a while. So it seems like YouTube, or creating YouTube content, has become as much as a hobby now as flying has. So I just thought I'd put this out there just so I can basically feed my addiction a little bit more. But I hope to come back with some more flying stuff soon. Looks out the window, weather dependent, and hopefully the audio quality on this one's going to be a little bit more consistent. If you notice this strange thing here, lapel mics go really great on t-shirts, don't they? I kept watching my videos back, and when I'm doing like audio from multiple sources, like this is a webcam on my iMac, and then a lot of the time I'm getting stuff off my GoPro, and sometimes it's coming off this sort of SLR type camera. It's all so inconsistent, and I'm just like, it sounds like several different people altogether. So I'm using this. There you go. Hopefully it sounds better. If it doesn't, feel free to tell me, but to be quite honest, I'll probably just carry on doing what I like anyway. That's how much I listen to feedback. Anyway, I'll catch you in another video. See you later.